Certainly appreciate your effort to get yourself to your mat. Not always easy, that is for sure. There's so many other things to be doing. This practice in front of you is about 60 minutes, right around there. And the focus today is on comparisons. Not so much the focus, but that's been my focus on comparisons and how I have, and I think most of us have a tendency of comparing ourselves to other people. We have a tendency of doing that. And that's useful in some ways because we can model behaviors. It's like, okay, this person's successful at doing something or being something, so I'll model my behaviors after this individual and see what happens, which is great. You know, we can learn and grow from that model. What can also happen is we compare and specifically compare of what we don't have versus somebody else's having kind of experience, which can lead us into jealousy and envy. And if you've ever been jealous and envy, it's an ugly experience. It's unpleasant to say the least, because what ends up happening is we're left feeling insecure and dissatisfied, not only about who we are, but our life in general, and our situation. And so we can hold on to these gripping emotions, jealousy and envy. And the tendency is that we hold this experience of jealousy and envy in the side bodies, and specifically the right side body, because it manifests into anger, frustration, irritation, those kinds of things, which sits in the liver. And where we hold on to insecurities is in the low back. And so it destabilizes us. And it's just pulls apart our character, is one way of putting it, insecurity. And so I'm going to focus in on the side bodies in the low back this morning and see what happens. And the idea is, if there's things there to release and move, great, do that. Do that. And what's left is space to create greater structure, to be more of you as the individual, less of comparing yourself to other people. And the whole idea is to compare ourselves to who we were yesterday versus who we're comparing ourselves to outside of ourselves. And so that's the practice. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday versus somebody else. And in that, we can motivate ourselves and reward ourselves for the good things that we're doing each and every day. Like this. You and your mat. So well done. Okay. What a preamble for the practice ahead. We'll see what comes flying out of you this morning. All right. We're going to start on your back. That's where you're going to start. Just lay yourself out onto the floor. A great place to start. And move yourself into a state of stillness. A beautiful place to get to. Stillness. And notice your stillness. Still yourself physically, and as you still yourself physically, you can get a good sense of your stillness from the inside out. The stillness of your mind, stillness of your emotional body, your energy body. And just noticing your stillness from the inside out. And connect to your breath here as you lay out on your back body. And move your breath down into your abdomen. And just focus in on your breath and slow your breath. And as you pause in stillness and connect to your breath, hone in, focus in on what you're doing here this morning. What brought you to your mat? What are you after? And it is something, otherwise you wouldn't be here. The idea is not to fool yourself, but to focus in on what you're doing here, what you're looking to create and manifest for yourself over the next 60 minutes. And place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on top of your left hand. So both hands over your heart. Feel this area of your body and connect to this area of your body. All the while you continue to breathe into your abdomen, to pause in stillness, and to feel this area of your body and your heart. and to acknowledge your heart and how much heart you have, how much heart you call forth, how giving you are, how generous you are, how abundant you are. To reward yourself for who you are. It's such a great reward in of itself. Thank you, self. I cherish you, I respect you, I trust you, I love you. And take your arms over your head and reach to the wall behind you. Reach through your fingertips and point through your toes. Notice your side bodies here and breathe. Breathe down your side bodies. Getting access. That's what we're after, getting access. And from the lengthening experience, tuck in now. Draw your knees in towards your chest and wrap your arms around your shin bones. And flex your feet as you do. Notice the difference in posture. Get a hold of yourself. Oh, what a concept. Get a hold of yourself. That is useful indeed. And release your shin bones and send your feet high up towards the ceiling above you. Straighten your legs. All these different shapes you get to explore. Again, flex your feet and spread your toes. Feel your back body to the floor and the stability the floor offers you. And that's what we're looking for in each and every pose, stability. Stability and security go hand in hand. So the idea is to build stability and security in each and every shape, every pose that you're in. So you walk out of the studio more stable, more secure. And bend your knees and place your feet to the floor. And with your feet to the floor, take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe out, drop your knees off to your right side, a simple twist, and turn your chin over your left shoulder. And breathe down your left side. Expand your feeling this morning through your practice. Get a good sense of how you're feeling, breath to breath, pose to pose. Making sense of your emotional body. And creating some order, moving yourself out of chaos. And bring your knees to center. Do so with a breath in. And as you breathe out, drop your knees off to your left side. Turn your chin over your right shoulder. And bring plenty of breath to your practice, this pose, this moment. Keep reminding yourself of what brought you here and your intention for being here. Let that be your vision. You're pursuing something meaningful. Bring your knees to center. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, draw your knees in towards your armpits. So your knees are wide, away from each other. Flex your feet. Spread your toes. Creating engagement in various different parts of your body. And that's the opportunity in each and every pose to engage in various different parts of your body. And welcoming these various different parts of your body to the practice. Pursuing wholeness, and ideally your intention leads you to that experience, deep satisfaction of you being whole. And place your feet to the floor. And with your feet to the floor, feel your feet and take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Right leg over your left leg. So there's no gap. There's no gap in between your legs. Very good. Cactus your arms. So the backs of your arms are to the floor. Very good. And through your next in-breath, drop your legs off to your right side. And as you breathe out, bring your legs back to center. Legs back to center as you breathe out. As you breathe in, drop your legs off to your right side. Same side twist. Same side. Over to your right. And as you breathe out, legs back to center. And so that's the idea here. Every time you breathe in, you drop your legs off to your right side. Every time you breathe out, center. If you want to add on, as you drop your legs off to your right side, you can turn your chin over your left shoulder if you'd like. As you bring your legs back to center, center your chin to twist yet again. Slow your movements and pay attention as you move, getting access to your side body. Notice what's there for you to explore and to feel and to make sense of. And that's the idea. You're making sense of yourself this morning, this moment in time. Who are you? What a question. Let this be the exploration. And further defining yourself as an individual, and we must be that, an individual in this world. Keep moving, breathing, feeling, noticing, paying attention. Next time your knees are at center, uncross your legs, place your feet to the floor, take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Cross your left leg over your right. Left leg over your right, so there's no gap in between your legs. And next time you breathe in, drop your legs off to your left side. And as you breathe out, legs back to center. Continue to move this way every time you breathe in, twisting to the left. If you want to add on, you can turn your chin over your right shoulder as you twist. And as you center up, center your chin as well. Keep directing your thoughts into your body. Expanding your presence and your willingness to be with yourself, which is a great act of care. We're so willing to not be with ourselves, to get caught up in fairy tales and chasing ghosts in the mind. This practice is so unique in terms of developing a healthy relationship to your body, where you stop punishing yourself for you being you, but embracing yourself, rewarding yourself for actually you being you and how unique you are, how brilliant you are. Continue to breathe and move and feel these simple movements. Notice the depth you're able to create through these simple movements. There's something so rich about keeping things simple. That's what ends up happening is when we compare ourselves to others, we complicate things. We create chaos. Things make sense no longer. So this practice is where you're able to make sense of yourself. And next time your legs are at center, pause. Uncross your legs, place your feet to the floor. And with your feet to the floor, take a very generous breath in down into your abdomen. And a full breath out. Breathe in yet again. And as you breathe out, draw your knees in towards your armpits. Hug in, squeeze in. Move your hands to your shin bones and squeeze. And keep your right knee in and extend your left leg out onto the floor. So right knee stays in, left leg out onto the floor. You can keep your right knee in just as it is, or move into half happy baby. Half happy baby. That's unique. So wherever you choose to be, flex both feet. Move your breath into your abdomen and keep this pose simple. Get a good sense of where you're feeling this pose, this shape, and move your attention there. Welcome the experience with open arms and a generous mindset. The thank you pose. What are you here to teach me? I'm open and available for the lesson. Reveal yourself, will you please? I'm ready. Speaking in a way that aligns you with your intention. Creating that narrative that encourages you. Sets you up for success. And if you're in half happy baby, release and draw both knees in towards your armpits. Yeah, go ahead and squeeze in. Hey, self, nice to be with you. Good morning. And extend your right leg out onto the floor and keep your left knee tucked in. Stay here, of course. One option, another is half happy baby left side. If you aren't half happy, baby, the idea is to draw your left shoulder blade down towards the floor. It's like this plugging in experience that is useful to plug in. A self-directed plugging in, and notice what you're plugging into here in this pose. Let it be meaningful and purposeful. We always have the tendency, we always have the option to make things worse, don't we? And sometimes we make that choice to make things worse. In this practice, your practice, this moment, make things better for yourself. It happens with intention, through language and listening, through action. And go ahead and release and draw both knees into your armpits. Yet another opportunity to be with yourself, and don't miss the opportunity. And draw your knees together if they're not. Flex your feet and tee your arms out onto the floor. Arms into a T shape, palms down. Spread your fingers wide and feel the floor beneath your hands. And actually squeeze your inner thighs together, inner knees and inner ankles together. The idea is to keep your legs together. Next time you breathe in, drop your knees off to your right side so your legs hover off the floor. And out breath, knees to center. In breath, legs off to your left side. And out breath, knees back to center. And continue to move this way as you squeeze your legs together. As you squeeze, notice the energy you're able to produce. And you are that. Your body certainly is that. It's a great capacitor, great capacity to create energy. And as you squeeze one body part into the next, notice the energy you're able to create through the tension. And then the idea is to move it wisely, to move your energy wisely. And ideally directed to something that means something to you. Having that level of vision, purpose. Next time your legs are at center, pause. And send your feet high, straighten your legs. Flex your feet, spread your toes. Feet way high up towards the ceiling above you. And take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, knees to your chest. Not here for long. Start to rock and roll yourself, will you? Up and back, up and back. Get a good sense of your back body. It's a beautiful way to wake yourself up, specifically your back body. And speak to your back body. I feel you back there. Nice to be with you. Welcome. And rock yourself all the way up onto your hands and knees. However you get there, be creative. And then bring yourself onto your hands and knees. And spread your fingers wide and grip your mat through your fingertips. Engage through your hands. Hands, an extension of hearts. Noticing where you're placing your hands and how you're placing them. And move into a series of cat-cow. Do so diligently with great care. The in-breath, chest and tail up. As you breathe out, round your back body. Tuck your chin to your chest. Squeeze your hands. And move. Move with great care and diligence. You're in movement, yes. So be in movement, physical movement. And also be in movement in how you're speaking to yourself. Cultivating the language of movement that moves you forward. Motivating yourself through language. Notice how you listen to yourself. What you're listening for. Speak yourself up, not down. You know that too well. So speak to yourself in a way that lifts you up, that it further defines you. It makes you uniquely you. The very reason why so many people love you and want to be with you. Those qualities, speak into those qualities, the qualities that people really appreciate about you. And define what those are, and continue to do that through your practice. And bring yourself to a neutral spine. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Next in-breath, take your right leg back behind you. Up in space. What a place to be. Flex your right foot. Send your left hand forward. Now we're getting fancy. Catch your balance. Catch your breath too. Reach through your left fingertips. Drive the energy to your right heel. And place your left hand to the floor. Sweep your right foot off beside you. Place it to the floor. Stand on your left knee. Track your right hand down your right leg and your left arm over your left ear. Oh, high side body. Good morning. And then switch. Place your left hand to the floor or a block and take your right arm over your right ear. My goodness, are you feeling that? And continue to switch one side to the other. Lengthening yourself, and that's the idea. Stretching yourself, lengthening yourself towards what? Have that level of vision and aim. If you want to move yourself off center line, go ahead and do that. Get creative and expressive. You know what it's like to be with yourself. Keep choosing that. Choosing to be with yourself over and over again. And as you do, notice what gets in the way. You want to know that. It offers you great utility, noticing what blocks you from being with yourself. The complaints, the judgment, the nonsense. Move all that out. Place your hands to the floor in front of you. And move your chest forward. And as you breathe in, sweep your right leg back behind you. Right knee to the floor. Very good. Breathe in deeply. And a full breath out. We're off to the other side. What a journey. Send your left leg back behind you. Flex your left foot. Move your chest forward and drive the energy through your left foot. Practice like you know what you're doing. Send your right hand forward. Like you know what you're doing and where you're going. That level of confidence and courage. What it's like to stretch and reach. Set your gaze. Notice where you're going. Place your right hand to the floor. Sweep your left leg off beside you. Place your left foot to the floor. Stand on your right knee. Draw your left hand down your left leg and right arm over your right ear. And switch. Back and forth you go. Get creative in your movements. Keep feeling into yourself. Feeling where you're open, where you're constricted. Oh, the sweetness of movement. Place your hands to the mat in front of you. Move your chest forward. Sweep your left leg back. Breathe in as you do. And left knee to the floor as you breathe out. Tuck your toes with your toes tucked. Down dog. A lengthening experience. And notice your side bodies as you lengthen. Grip your mat through your fingertips. Downward facing dog. Feel your feet. Lighten your toes. Move your heels down towards the floor. They don't need to touch the floor, but moving your heels down energetically. Bend your knees some. Move around as you see fit or stay still. Whatever is best for you, making the right decisions for you. A difficult, complex endeavor, making the right decisions. That's why vision and aim is so important, making the decisions that lead you forward towards this vision and aim. Take your right leg high behind you. Bend your right knee and stack your right hip over your left into a grand opening. And welcome the opening. Do so with trust. Trusting yourself that you can be here in this pose and in the experience. Next time you breathe out, move your right knee towards your nose, around your back as you do. Squeeze your fingertips to the floor and send your right leg back behind you. Breathe in. Oh, one more time. Right knee to your nose, around your back as you do. Squeeze in. Very good. Right leg back and high. Breathe in. And set your right foot to the floor. Breathe out. Down dog. High plank. Breathe in. Oh, all this lengthening you get to explore. High plank. Drive your heels back, chest forward. Feel your hands. Choose to be brave here. Downward facing dog, back you go. Take your left leg high behind you. Bend your left knee. Take your left hip over your right. Hold the pose. The idea here is to create equal balance through each hand. Noticing where you're willing to go. In this pose, your practice. Next time you breathe out, send your left knee to your nose around your back. Send your left leg back behind you. Breathe in. And draw your left knee to your nose. Once again, breathe out. Send your left leg back. Breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Next breath in, high plank. Yes, indeed. Here you are again. Noticing what you're creating for yourself. Grip your mat to your fingertips. Press down through your hands. Around your upper back some. Downward facing dog, back you go. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, place your knees to the floor. Sit back on your heels. Sit upright. Take your left fingertips beside you to the floor and take your right arm over your right ear. Reach. Side body welcome. I feel you. I hear you. I welcome you. I love you. Switch. Left fingertips to the floor. Right fingertips down. Take your left hand and arm over your left ear. Very good. Sit tall. Straighten up. Move your hands behind you. Lace your fingers. Draw your knuckles down towards the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Take your chest and eyes up. Breathe deeply into your abdomen. What it's like to open this way. Opening to what? You have a say in that. And eyes forward. Release your hands and take your hands high up towards the ceiling. And bend your elbows. Lace your fingers behind your head. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, draw your right elbow down towards your right hip. You can look up at the ceiling if you'd like. Whoa, there's some movement here. And breathe in, center up. Tip your left elbow down towards the floor, right elbow up towards the ceiling. And move back and forth. Your time, your pace, your breath. Self-directed. Center yourself up and take a deep breath in. Keep your elbows wide. And as you breathe out, go back, eyes up, chest up, go back. Stay and breathe here. Notice the squeeze down in your lower back. The squeeze and soak here. This is the squeeze experience. And now release, and as you release, notice the soak, hands and knees to the floor. Take a full breath in, a deep breath out. Tuck your toes if they're not. Down dog, uplift. From down dog, step your right foot to your hands. Left knee to the floor. Catch a block. Place your block off to your left and place your left fingertips to your block. Take your right hand up towards the ceiling. Bend your right elbow. Place your right hand to the back of your skull. Start to tilt your right elbow up towards the ceiling, getting access to your right side body. And breathe deeply down into your abdomen. Center yourself up. Sweep both of your hands high. Look up. Next time you breathe out, bend your elbows. Squeeze your elbows towards your side bodies. Eyes and chest up. Hold the pose. Stay with. On the move, eyes forward, hands to the floor. Plank, breathe in as you do. Down dog as you breathe out. Lengthening from down dog to high plank, breathe in. Lower yourself to the floor. Stay long as you do, lay down. Split your feet in the hands. Roll up, cobra swim. Move down, breathe out. Every time you breathe in, that's the extension. Press the front of your pelvis down into the floor. Connect, stabilize. And the squeeze, the soak. Notice the access to your side bodies, your low back. Activating these parts of your body. Right, next time you're down, place your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes, hands and knees. Back into down dog. From down dog, step your left foot forward, lunge. Right knee to the floor, or you can keep your right leg straight. You choose. Move the block off to your right side. Place your right fingertips to your block and take your left hand up towards the ceiling. Bend your left elbow and place your left hand to the back of your skull. And the idea is to stabilize. Press down through your block. Lift your left elbow up towards the ceiling. Take your eyes up too. Getting access to your left side body. Make it yours. It's the idea. Make it yours. This pose, this moment, this opportunity. And straighten yourself out and up. And as you do, take your hands high. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bend your elbows, eyes and chest up. Go back. Stay with your breath. Open yourself up into this pose, this experience. And eyes forward and hands to the floor. Plank, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Another full breath in, plank. As you breathe out, lower yourself to the floor. Split your feet and hands, cobra swims. Back to the squeeze, the soak, the lengthening. Ridding yourself of emotions and energy that hold you back, that destabilize you, that torment you and keep you weak. Come from a place of strength, an inner knowing, finding your intention, strengthening it from the inside out. Next time you're down, hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes. Hands and knees, downward facing dog. Very good. Step your right foot forward. Lunge, left knee to the floor. Take both hands high. Catch your left wrist with your right hand. Left wrist with your right hand. And start to draw your left arm over your left ear. Turning to the right some. Ooh, wow. This is a lot of space. Explore the space. Your space. Getting to know your territory. From your bones out, and your skin in. And straighten yourself out. Lift your hands high, breathe in. As you breathe out, place your left hand to the floor and take your right hand up, twist. Stay with your breath, breathing deeply into your abdomen. Release, stay with me. Place your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Press down to your right fingertips. Lift your left hand up to the ceiling, twist. Keep lengthening yourself. Sternum forward, crown forward. Press down, lift your hands high, look up to bend your elbows and go back. Oh, the squeeze, stay with. Very good, eyes forward, hands to the floor. Plank, breathe in. Down dog as you breathe out. The lengthening, to lengthening again, high plank, breathe in. Lower yourself down to the floor, breathe out. Cobra swims. Split your feet and hands, roll yourself up. Notice what you're doing to yourself and how you're doing it. Intention, language, listening. Creating action and movement that supports your intention and your movement forward. Next time you're down, place your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, hands and knees, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Right knee to the floor. Take both hands high. Catch your right wrist with your left hand. Draw your right arm over your right ear. Look up at the ceiling if you'd like. Move into your right side. Notice what's there. Being gentle, caring, encouraging. And straighten yourself out with an in-breath. Take your fingertips high. As you breathe out, place your right hand to the floor and take your left hand high, twist. As you twist, tack your left hip back, right hip forward. The idea is to scissor your inner thighs to stabilize. Release and place your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Twisting, take your right hand to the ceiling. Eyes up too if you'd like. And breathe into your abdomen. Create space through breath. Okay, ready, set. We're on the move. Take a deep breath in. Release the twist, hands high. Bend your elbows and go back. Spread your fingers wide. Back you go. Where, who knows? And release. On the move, hands to the floor. Plank. Breathe in. Downward facing dog. Breathe out. High plank. Stay for the out breath. Bring your feet to touch if they're not. Side plank. Right hand stays down. Turn over onto your right ankle. Left hand high. Place your left foot in front of you. Lift your left hip up towards the ceiling. Step your left foot behind you. Wild thing. Press down. Arc and reach. Yes, indeed. Very good. Release. Plank. Downward facing dog. Back you go. Take a full breath in. A deep breath out. Bring your feet to touch if they're not. High plank. Side plank, opposite side. Left hand stays down. Take your right hand up to the ceiling. Step your right foot in front of you. Lift your right hip up towards the ceiling. Stay or step your right foot behind you. Wild thing, arc and reach. Feel your feet, your left hand. Stabilize. Open. Release. Plank. Down dog. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, place your knees to the floor. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, turn over your right shoulder to your right hip. Eyes forward, breathe in. Opposite side, turn as you breathe out. And keep moving this way, taking care of yourself. Making breath and movement. Exploring your side body. What's there? And bring yourself to center. Puppy pose. Take your hands out in front of you and wide. Keep your tail up. Your chin or your forehead down to the floor. And notice the space, your space, and how you explore it. How you make sense of you in this moment. And move yourself to your hands and knees. Once there, tuck your toes. Your toes tucked, downward facing dog. And step your right foot forward. Left knee to the floor. Lift the trunk of your body upright and move your hands behind you. Lace your fingers. Keep your left toes tucked. So with your fingers laced, move your knuckles down towards the floor. Roll your shoulders back. You can start to lift up if you like. Stay here if you want more. Straighten your left leg. Straighten your left leg if you want. Extra challenge for you. And wherever you are, release your hands. Move your eyes forward and take your hands out in front of you. Reach. Lift your left heel up if your left leg is straight. Good. Heart forward. Fingers forward. Knowing where you're going. Place your left hand to the floor and take your right hand high twist. Right hand to the floor. Plank. Breathe in. Downward facing dog. Breathe out and step your left foot forward. Left foot forward, right knee to the floor. Move your hands behind your back and lace your fingers. Keep your right toes tucked. Draw your knuckles low. Shoulders back, eyes and chest up. Straighten your right leg. And orient yourself from the floor up. And lift your right heel. Straighten your right leg. And release your hands and move your hands forward. Eyes forward. See where you're going. Reach. Deepening your breath. Clarifying your vision. Place your right hand to the floor and twist. Left hand high. And release. Left hand to the floor. Plank. Breathe in as you do. Downward facing dog. Back you go. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, place your knees to the floor. Stand on your knees. Ustrasana, camel. Place your hands to your sacrum. Chest up, eyes up. Start to roll yourself back to whatever degree. The idea is to get into the squeeze experience and notice where you're squeezing. Down your low back. Stay with the challenge. You want to drop your hands to your heels or blocks, go ahead and do that. Making this right for you. Stay with the pose. Deepen your experience. Let your breath support you, just as you need to. Yes, yes, yes. Let the opening be here with you. And what it's like to open. Into the release. Bring yourself up slowly as you do. Hands and knees to the floor. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Downward facing dog uplift. High plank. Lower yourself to the floor slowly. Lay down. Sphinx. Oh, I've missed you, sweet floor. Yeah. Creating space. And space for your heart to move forward. That's the idea. Moving the mind back some. Heart forward more. And keep your arms as they are. Moving into half frog. Slip your right knee up beside you. So your right leg is in a 90-degree angle. Press the front of your pelvis down into the floor. Notice the squeeze you're getting in and around your low back. You're moving into a twist. Slip your left arm under your right. Left shoulder, left ear to the floor, a block. And then sweep your right arm back behind you. The idea is to keep your right knee to the floor. If your right shoulder blade floats, fine. If you're able to rotate your right shoulder blade to the floor, fine. Breathe into your abdomen. Getting access to in and around your sacrum. Access to your right side body. So much to be with, but that's the idea. Be with your experience. Keep choosing you. You are a worthy choice, that is for sure. You're paying attention to the way in which you're speaking to yourself. The idea is to no longer tolerate diminishing yourself through language, to build yourself, to further define yourself. So you really know yourself, and in that, people really get to know you. And release, bring yourself onto your front body, Sphinx, waiting for you. What a pose, what a pose. So much courage needed in these heart-opening experiences. True on the mat, certainly true off the mat. And moving to left side, half frog. Sweep your left knee up beside you. Flex your left foot. Press the front of your pelvis down into the floor and press down through your forearms. Okay, let us twist. Slip your right arm under your left, right shoulder, right ear to the floor, or your right ear to a block you choose. Sweep your left arm back behind you. And again, the idea is to have your left knee to the floor, have it planted there. Encourage yourself to open up, continuously opening up, and rewarding yourself for the efforts that you're making. Distancing yourself from comparisons. You are as you are, to accept yourself as you are. These incremental movements compounded create extraordinary movement, and you're doing that here in your practice. All right, you remarkable, beautiful human being. Roll yourself onto your back body. All the way over onto your back body. That's the release. Just simply roll over onto your back body. And as you do, place your feet to the floor with your knees bent. Close your eyes if they're not and take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. The next pose waiting for you. Setu Bandhasan, the bridge. So set yourself up in a way that creates success. You've been in this pose, I could imagine. And if you have, great. You know where you're going, but create this new experience for yourself. Stay out of the humdrum, the automatic, and be creative and new. And bridge. Sure, if you want to move into wheel's an opportunity too. You choose which one. Once you find yourself in the shape you've chosen, explore the shape, refine it. The way to do that is to lighten your toes. And press the rest of your feet into the floor to stabilize and to secure your foundation in this pose. The front of your pelvis up towards the ceiling. Moving your chest closer to your chin. All these subtle refinements make a significant difference in terms of the experience and the opening you're creating for yourself. It requires presence and vision and the courage to move. Bring yourself out of the pose you find yourself in, back body to the floor. With your back body to the floor, take a very deep breath in and a full breath out. Another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, drop your knees off to your right side. Simple twist, turn your chin over your left shoulder. Explore what is. Lift your knees to center. And draw your knees off to your left side. Turn your chin over your right shoulder. Bring your knees to center. Place your feet on the floor. Feel your feet to the floor. Get another opportunity to work yourself into a back bend. Get access to your low back as well as your side body. So bridge your wheel. You choose which one. Making the best of your experience, no matter what shape you choose. Stay out of any comparisons, comparing yourself to others. Work with yourself as you are and encourage yourself to move deeper into the experience you're in, the pose that you've chosen. Compare yourself to the last breath you just had, and so on and so forth. Very good. Bring yourself out of the pose, back body to the floor. Very nice. Take a deep, full breath in, a full breath out. Split your feet wide and bring your knees together to touch. So feet wide, knees to touch. Very good. Opportunity to release through your low back in this shape and move your breath there. Deep into your abdomen, deep into your low back. And next time you breathe out, draw your knees in towards your armpits. Go ahead and draw your knees in. You can stay here with your knees towards your armpits or happy baby. Continuously making choices that are best for you. And if you are in happy baby, draw your shoulder blades down towards the floor. And as you do, notice how your chest opens and lifts. Roll your tail out onto the floor. And as you do, notice how your spine lengthens. These subtle movements make such a significant difference in terms of our shape, our posture. Whatever pose you're in, release your left leg out onto the floor and squeeze your right knee in towards your right armpit. Through your next out breath, take your right leg over to your left side, supine twist. Tracking the axis, you're able to gather and gain through this pose. Continuously choosing to be with yourself. Move yourself out of your twists. And switching sides. Extend your right leg out onto the floor and draw your left knee in towards your left armpit. Having a good sense of where you're going, making the right decisions for you before you go, as you go. Supine twists. Take your left leg over to your right side. Continue to settle into yourself through breath. Moving your breath into your abdomen. Connecting deep down within yourself. Breath is a way to center into your intuition, your inner knowing, your wisdom. It's one useful way to train your mind, to move your breath down deep within you, to connect to your values, your center, your wisdom. To do that here on the mat, but also to do it off the mat. You're moving with your wisdom, making choices aligned with your intuition and your values. And to reward yourself every time you do. And release from your twist, and as you do, draw your knees into your chest. Hug yourself in. Meet yourself in this shape. And pay yourself a compliment. Tell yourself something you know you need to hear. Do that for yourself. Reward yourself through compliments, acknowledgments. Be generous with yourself. And squeeze your knees into your chest, flex your feet, and draw your forehead up towards your knees. Head and shoulders up off the floor and squeeze. Roll yourself from left to right gently. Opportunity to massage your low back, your kidneys. Self-massage, a great act of self-care. And center yourself up, squeeze. Thank you, self. I love you. I love you. I adore you. I promise to take care of you in new ways because you deserve it. Shava. Lay yourself out onto the floor. As I mentioned at the top side of your practice, it's a useful idea to compare yourself to who you were. And you have that opportunity here. If you'll notice, this was the opening pose. 60 minutes later, you're in this pose yet again. And to notice what's changed for you. You 60 minutes ago in the past to who you are present. Perhaps you've learned something about yourself, defined yourself anew. The idea is to be with this new person, this new you. And take a deep breath in down into your abdomen. And a full breath out. Let the floor hold you. Let the environment support you. And over the next few breaths, and take your arms over your head. Reach through your fingertips and point through your toes. Notice your territory, your environment from the inside out. And roll yourself onto either side of your body and pause in fetal position. Noticing who you've become, appreciating who you've become, and rewarding yourself with appreciation for bringing yourself to your mat, for doing something good for yourself. This great act of self-care. And move yourself up and into a seated position. Bring your hands to touch in front of your chest with your eyes closed. And breathe in deeply. And breathe out. And lift your thumbs to your forehead center. With respect. Namaste. Well done, everybody. Respect. Respect. Thanks for your trust. Nice to be with you.